Hello everyone and welcome to the Resin Etiquette YouTube channel. Today we are making this gorgeous set of rainbow dominoes and sliding lid box. And for the first time ever, I'm trying the J. Dixon epoxy resin. I just ordered this off Amazon and wanted to give it a shot. It was a much better price than, $99 a gallon. I'm also using the full rainbow of these Rolio mica pigments. I don't often find myself using them because they're metallic, and normally I like more of either a translucent or a matte base color, but in this instance it was okay. I am starting with the black, and it does have some of the Rolio mica in it, but it also has some black alcohol ink to further saturate the color, and black glitter for a little bit of extra dimension added into it. I'm also using some rainbow holographic silver glitter. Again, since I'm using the rainbow with the metallic, I felt like the rainbow silver glitter would play off of the rainbow colors really nicely, and the black would just help add a lot more dimension to the color and make the color stand out more. That was my plan anyway, my intentions. And also, learning as I go here, the whole pouring each of these things is not fun. It takes forever, and by the time I finish one color, all of the other colors start to thicken up so much that they become hard to pour. So I've learned now that if I just use one of the crafting sticks and scoop the pigment out and pour it in with the crafting stick instead, it goes so much faster than trying to pour, stop the drip, put it back in the cup, wash, rinse, repeat over and over again. And I'm making sure, or at least trying to, that I use the exact same methods in the box as I do for the dominoes. So you'll notice every time I pour one color, I just continue that on down the line so that everything will match accordingly. Until I get to the end, of course, then I'm just trying to use the leftover resin that hasn't quite filled up all the sections. So you'll see I start filling just the empty ones with certain colors, but it's okay because everything is going to merge with the exothermic reaction that happens. So I'm not too worried about the blend not being perfect. As long as I get Roy G. Biv in every domino, I'll be happy. And the box, of course. Yeah, this is the point where I realized that the whole pouring individually was just not going to work because everything was thickening up so much it was getting to where I couldn't pour it. So, as you can see, I just started ignoring the edges of the Dominoes and just pour over it. I figure worst case, I can go in with some pointed cotton swabs at the end and just clean up those lines and have nice clean edges because man, that was getting difficult. Now let's pop some bubbles. As Steve McDonald says, never a torch, always a lighter when you're popping bubbles inside your silicone mold. And I know from first-hand experience that that is very true. I ended up wasting, I think, 3 molds by using my torch lighter instead of my regular lighter. The torch just gets too hot and the mold can't handle it. So what ends up happening is your resin or your mold cures, no, your resin cures with your mold inside of it in sections, and it pretty much, I think what it's doing is it's melting the silicone into the resin. Then when the resin cures and you pull it apart, that piece of silicone that melted inside your resin rips off from the silicone mold, and then every single pour you do later is going to have that fault in it. I don't know if there's a way to patch them. If you know, please let me know, because I've got a couple now. Actually, even this domino mold has one spot that, unfortunately, some resin was holding the rip together where the resin had cured into the mold. And I, being OCD, cleaned off the resin that I thought was there and flicked it off. And when I did, some mold came with it, so now there's a big gap in there, and I would love to fill it, but I just don't know what I can fill it with for sure that won't rip off every time I do. But now you can see I'm going in with the pointed cotton swab to clean up those edges, and this is actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Knowing now how easy that is, I'm pretty sure I can use the overfilling method with the domino mold and it really not be a big deal if it's not too messy, because it would take forever to clean up if it was too messy. But it was really easy to clean up with. Everything is now complete. It looks so beautiful from the back. I cannot wait to see this in the front. We're going to leave it alone now, let it cure for at least 12 hours, and we'll be back to see the final result. Oh yeah, I also filled those brush cups with the leftover resin. I love using leftover resin for brush cups. I just think that makes such interesting effects. Now we get to demold, and the dominoes are so easy to demold. You can literally just flip the mold over and peel them out of it, just like this. It works so seamlessly. And you don't have to mess with all the little extra pieces and peeling them out one by one. I love, love, love the way these turned out. I kind of wanted to leave the spots empty just because you get to see the rainbow through it, but it was conveyed to me how hard it would be to see the dots if they didn't have any color in them. So I did end up filling them with white, and to be honest, I'm so glad I did. They look so much better with the white, as you'll see in the end. With this box mold, I noticed afterward that the resin didn't go into those upper edges and fill it all the way, and I just made another set of these and completely forgot about that problem, so I'm sure once I demold the second one, it's going to have the same issues. I can patch it with some UV resin, so it's really not a huge deal, but I would much prefer everything to just come together, you know, while I'm doing it. I don't really know how to fix that for sure. I guess whenever I just first pour, I need to be extra super careful and make sure I fill those. At least if you get it wet with the resin and it's not just the dry silicone, it should pull in the other resin to that area, because resin just likes to be drawn to itself. I mean, it sticks to itself. So I think that's what I'll need to do going forward, just to make sure I don't have any of those bubbles on those edges. But other than that, this mold is perfect. It ended up so great. Really, every Let's Resin mold that I've used has been really, really good. Oh, that's amazing. So we have the marbled pattern on the back, then on the other side on the bottom, you can see where everything kind of melted together, and the exothermic reaction that happened just kind of mushed all the colors. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the result that it gave. One side you have the marble, the other side it's just flat. Still very dimensional, but you know, more grayish-y. Now for the brush cups. Oh, I love this effect just because it's like, it reminds me of a patchwork quilt kind of, but it's patchwork with resin instead. I mean, it's kind of obvious that it's leftover resin being used, but I don't know, I feel like it's kind of avant-garde and high fashion. A high fashion brush cup. Yes, look at that. That bright, bold yellow and green right beside that purple, they just pop so well against each other. And those Roleo pigments with the metallic finish they have, it's just gorgeous. I love playing with those. I can't wait to use more kind of off-the-wall colors, because, you know, the rainbow, it's Roy G. Biv. That's what I stick to with the rainbow. So it's kind of your typical colors. So we didn't have a whole lot of overpour. There's some edges there that kind of flaked off whenever I peeled them out, but everything turned out really great. I just love how vibrant and bold and beautiful it is. And here's the completely finished result with everything on. The white dots are all complete. You see what I mean? How it just makes everything stand out a little bit more. I love it. These are available now on theresinetiquette.com or the Etsy shop, The Resin Etiquette. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you have any specific requests, don't forget to leave them in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!